And once again, the illustrious DBJ is our game master for this evening. So take it away, man.
All right, I'm DBJ. Been a little absent from my channel lately, but you can type in "Bring Back the Magic." It's a whole lot easier than spelling out the name. This is the part 2 to the Vanguardians, defenders of the Spiral Arm Empire. The players were using the Fate System course and Fate Core, and the players are cosmically powered characters. They are endowed with a companion stone, a semi-sentient device that comes in numerous forms, and it gives them the power to fly through space, create wormholes, manipulate quantum energies, and their job is to defend the thousands of planets in the Spiral Arm Empire. And you guys can introduce the characters if you want to, and we'll jump right on in.
Okay. I'm Jim. I guess I will start first. I'll be playing Plax Corzin of the Black Moon Cartel. Plax is the Black Knight of the Vanguardians. He is the speaker for the cartel, which is a criminal organization that has been granted some measure of legitimacy due to their size. So they have a representative in the Spiral Arm. Plax was bestowed his stone, and I forgot the companion stone. And Plax's companion stone is actually a series of stones broken down that revolve about him as a satellite, kind of like the old D&D Ion stones. And he has powers over light and gravity. And he's not a really nice guy. He's not evil, but he's definitely selfish, and he's very opportunistic, and will attempt to do whatever he can to push the agenda of the Black Moon Cartel.
Go ahead, Joe.
Okay. I will be playing. My name is Joe. I'll be playing Zan 4 of the Ulago in exile. Actually, the race of Ulago, which was a biological race, is actually extinct, and I exist as a machine copy of that race that has been built by them, and has been continually making copies in order to continue the traditions of that race. He also has acquired one of these stones that has essentially linked up with his body like essentially almost like a flash drive that basically is stuck into the back of his skull. He can take out and pull information out of if he needs to, or do whatever he needs to do with it. Also, there is a faction within the Spiral Arm that is not very fond of the idea of a machine being a part of this order, basically knightly type order, and they want him removed from it.
Okay, and I'm Dave, and I'll be playing Oxmo of the Planet Foundation 3. And Oxmo, I kind of picture him as being very monk-like. His culture is very they're all about perfection of mind and body and potentially soul, I would imagine. Foundation 3, the world he's from, is known as a world of perfection and organization, down to the fact that they even have control over the very weather itself. Oxmo feels as though there is no honor above the knighthood, so he takes his position very seriously, and feels as though there is no higher calling than such. And his stone is embedded into his temple, his right temple actually, and he has control over quantum energy, and actually he can fly. So that's Oxmo.
Cool. All right. We will begin again back in the chamber with the Chancellor. Chancellor. Let's see. I wanted to one more image here. I want to show you guys. Bring him up. And there we go. There we go.
That's the guy.
I know.
The Chancellor. It's been a few weeks since you've left Ogren, and Ogren 2. Well, you placed a planet in orbit, so maybe now it's like 2.5, and quite a few weeks later, the issue presented before the council is that the mineral rights to the planet that you placed in there in Ogren's location, and who owns them. Now, currently, the Black Moon Cartel is protecting the planetary system. They're not allowing anybody in. Inspectors, they're not letting personnel in. The people that live on the planet are like in complete harmony. They're just like happy-go-lucky. It's for some reason there's something that falls over the people that visit there, a sense of peace. But they don't prevent any. They have no army. They don't prevent anyone from leaving or coming in, which is strange because the Black Moon Cartel, which is made up of enemies of the state, hijackers, black marketeers, assassins, mercenaries, are protecting this outer area, and they have not set foot on the planet at all. So, close this out.
You duplicitous bastard.
So now, the question before the Senate is, do they force the Black Moon Cartel out of the system? And if they do, I mean, you know, will this be war? Because of the Senate, an open military conflict is frowned upon. Now, of course, you guys know that there are skirmishes all over the Spiral Arm, but to actually declare war against the Black Moon Cartel would just be tantamount to, you know, California, you know, fighting New York over, you know, the land rights in Texas. It just doesn't happen. And they haven't violated any official orders either because they haven't set foot on the planetary surface. All right, but they're first there the minute they open any kind of trade rights or military rights or even visitation rights. The Black Moon Cartel is going to jump right on in.
And not only that, but we control who can come and go.
Correct.
So we can tax the travel on and off world.
Right. Well, despite the fact that you guys are the guardians of the Spiral Arm Empire, there's a faction that despises you guys, and they're known as the War Factors. They are a race of people that believe that essentially war and conquest is part of culture and part of nature. That's what you do. You conquer the people who are weaker than you. You conquer them. You take them over, and strangely enough, they are part and parcel of the Spiral Arm Empire. The reason why is because they offer military services to those planets that don't have it. And you guys have been in conflict with them plenty of times, both, you know, politically and physically. They use very large war machines. They use robots. They use, like, you know, antimatter rifles and photon torpedoes and these kind of things. And you guys represent essentially an armada personal armada, and they can't stand it. Let's see if I can get an image of one of these aliens and what they look like in their armor. There we go. Screen share. There we go. Kind of haunched legs in the back. When they're out of their armor, that's kind of the clothing that they wear. They come from a desolate planet, and they pretty much believe in totalitarianism. They're the bad guys.
Relatively speaking.
Yes, yes. Is it possible that the Spiral Arm Empire could do without them? Sure, but that would mean that you guys would take over all policing, and that would mean that there would have to be tens of thousands of Vanguardians, and it not only is that not possible, but the planetary systems don't want that.
Well, I still have issues bridging back to our last encounter because the Chancellor was responsible for a lot of shadiness, and he made an attempt, and I am going to I am the speaker for the Black Moon Cartel, people and nation. So I am going to see if I have contacts, right?
Yes.
Pretty good. So I am going to try to foment some ill tidings towards the current chancellor in order to get him booted out.
But were his actions unlawful? That's the question.
Well, he tried to. Well, he duped us.
But were his actions unlawful?
I'm not sure. I would
Okay,
have to
then
utilize.
stand down then.
I would have to utilize my non-existent law skill, but
No, you have it. It's just not one of your priorities.
well, it's not one of my focus points. But I have contacts, so I would go to my council, my own inner council, and see if what he did was.
You can just ask Zahn. He's standing right here.
Oh, no. No. I would prefer to use my own people, but I'll check with them to see if there's a precedent for doing what he did. If there are any legal.
The laws know no cultural boundaries or have no cultural boundaries or anything. Zahn could tell you what the books say. That's all you need to know.
Right, but it's the interpretation of the book that Zahn is not going to be able to give, just like law could be used for good or ill. A law is just a law, and it's the interpretation of that law that gives it its power. So again, I am contacting my Black Moon Cartel law staff and see if there's anything that they can find in the ancient scriptures and laws. I'm going to foment discontent with the current chancellor and his activities. I'm going to do as much as I can to kind of discredit him, and I'll say the praetor, he even left. He's not around. Where is he? He's
obviously he's been sent on a mission of undue importance.
Obviously.
Okay.
What's
now?
And then I'll also tell the chancellor that his double crossing. Were he Black Moon, he would not have been found after that.
Is that a threat against the counselor's existence?
If he were part of the Black Moon Cartel and our justice, yes, he would disappear.
I would say that's not necessarily true. Because if he was, then he'd be working on behalf of the Black Moon Cartel, in which case I doubt that you would have any concern over his action.
Whatever you say to that, Plex.
Anyway, I'm awaiting communiques from certain of my contacts that I have on a multitude of planets.
Well, since since our
But I will
esteemed
have the Chancellor deposed.
since our esteemed leader is not here, I will presume to be a leader of this this regiment at this time.
I'm the leader of the Black Moon Cartel. If anyone should lead, it should be me. I am a leader. You're nothing but a grunt. Even though you have been chosen by the stone, by a companion stone, you're nothing more than a hammer, you know.
Every empire needs a strong foundation, and that is me.
For a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So you would do well to take my orders as you did the praetors.
I'll fold my arms and nod towards the chancellor and
What say you, Zahn?
see what his orders are.
Is my logic not sound? That in the absence of the praetor, who is a leader, that another leader step up?
I said that logic stands.
Excellent. Thank you.
But the law means nothing to him, as we know. And the law is what keeps us in our position and keeps us in good standing. Why should we follow a lawless leader?
I'm not lawless. It's just that some of your laws are stupid.
Now, I do want to fill Zahn in on something that happened previously.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Two things. One is that you suspected this, but you didn't know how deeply. The Empire, when your race beseeched the Empire to be saved, they were able to essentially download the total knowledge of your race and your people into these artificial bodies. And they built in a backdoor, programming backdoor, into the artificial body that you're in now and those members of your race that are around. You weren't sure whether they did it. You now know they did. On the other hand, because of the excellent programmer that you are, you also put backdoors into the Empire's computer systems to follow what they were doing. And you now know that there is a chance that you could bring your people back if you could synthesize how the microbe that is on Ogren to help your people survive like they survive all these cataclysms.
Right. That would be interesting. Huh. Okay. That is something to consider.
All right. Now, as it stands, by law, no one can remove, or you can't go down on a planet, harvest it, and start using it.
Right.
It's illegal. The Spiral Arm respects religious freedom, at least as far as people can push it without finding a loophole in the law. But you also know that if you want to wait a long time, there's a possibility that this may take many generations. It could take hundreds of years even if they keep pushing this through the Senate. So just want to drop that piece of information on you.
All right. Well,
I am going to create an advantage called scouting parties using my infiltration to have the Black Moon Cartel people kind of surreptitiously slip onto the planet, do some mining, come back up. I'll have this going on kind of, in the shadows, of course.
Okay. All right. Oxmo.
Front and center, right here.
Yeah. Your companion stone presents to you an image of the planet that they come from. It is a moon that orbits a planet and that planet orbits a binary star, and that binary star is basically within like a nebula. It's an impossibility of events that happen to create what they are, and so they are a combination of like a living crystalline race and a device, like an ancient device. The planet that the moon orbits had a culture on it, but they've long since been gone, and the companion stones have never mentioned where they've gone, or if they died or they left the system or anything like that. But they leave the planet on their own, and they go out and search for. They pick the strongest, most, I don't say noblest, but representatives. Right. Well, in its measurement, yes.
I know.
To represent those that would be the best representatives, and you get an image that another companions. They want you to meet another companion stone.
Oh wow! Oh, really?
Not the Senate. The companion stone themselves.
I'm being kind of summoned by the stones themselves.
Correct.
Okay.
And they want you to present a stone to Doan, who is the priest on the planet Ogren, to represent their planet as a Vanguardian.
Was his name Dolan or Doan?
Doan, D-O-A-N.
D-O-A-N. Okay, Doan. Okay, is that the same Doan that we had the pleasure of meeting before? The High Priest? Okay. Wow. Him?
Yep.
Okay, this is very very unusual. Is this some information that I just know, or is this known to the other stone bearers as well?
They would know it, but you're the only one that they want to, because of your status and personality. They want you to present it. Present it for them.
Okay. I agree, because their choice was sound. But I will ask my companions to accompany me to the planet. Let's see. Yeah, I'll find you. Or actually, I'll contact you guys, because who knows where you are or what you're doing, and I will ask you all to meet me on, let's say, an orbiting, let's say like it's maybe a space station, that's more or less neutral territory, so to speak, and I'll ask you guys to meet me there, and I have something of great importance to speak to you about.
Okay.
I'll say that the Black Moon Cartel has they've placed essentially a spacecraft that they've turned into a space station. Just essentially park the ship in orbit, and then it's unrecognizable as a spacecraft any longer now. They've built off of it as ships and materials come in, they're building off of it even further, and it's a very large spindle, big round circle, zero gravity tube down the middle of it.
Yep.
Probably can hold a couple thousand people in it, and it's a pretty basic thing for them to do: move into an orbit and then take a spacecraft and just unfold it and start constructing it. So there's an atmosphere, there's interior inside of it, and there's a lot of activity on the outside as well.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I will have them meet me there, and I will be waiting. I'll meet them. Actually, let's do this. I'll meet them because I will be standing on the exterior of the ship on the ring itself, waiting for them to show up.
Hands on hips.
There you go. And why not?
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right. I will be inside the bridge of the satellite ship, talking to some of the commanders and trying to kind of assess what the situation is and make sure that the things that we have going on are going on well, and that it's in our best interest for none of the information to get out to any of the others, and especially while this Oxmo is here, We may need to shut down the operations.
I'm right here. I can hear. No, okay.
We need to shut down operations for the interim.
Okay. They tell you, they're, harvesting some of this biological material. They say that it may be difficult because they're going to have to replicate this system's.
Don't give me your excuses. Give me your results.
Well, they say, well, sir, we may have to harvest this out of the people, not out of the ground.
Ooh, wow.
So what does it matter? What does it matter? A couple of the warm bloods disappear. Who cares? Again, give me solutions. Don't give me excuses.
If
Just
we
make sure that nothing is traced back to us.
absolutely, sir. And they go about their going back to their
Okay.
going back to their hiding behind the microscopes and things of that, because they know not to, it's success or nothing.
What is the public or what? Yeah. What I'm trying to ask is, what is the Black Moon Cartel? What are they saying this ship is for? That we're standing atop, that's parked right here. Is it just like a,
It's guarding the.
Okay.
The planet.
Okay. Cool. Okay. All right. So once Zahn shows up, I kind of wave him over to where I'm standing.
Okay.
And Zahn, what took you so long? I've been waiting here for over 60 seconds.
I say, everything does not revolve around you, Oxmo. I say, what is it that you require?
I say, heed my my transmission, and I kind of mentally my stone touches his stone, and I basically tell you that the what would it be called? The origin planet or origin system of the companion stones, Lucent 4, which is the name of the planet that the stones come from. We must heed their call once again. They've chosen yet another bearer of the power.
Okay, I'll fly out on that and say, and who is this bearer?
I point to the planet below us, and I say, Doan, priest, or high priest, actually.
What?
That's right.
Say those primates, they should not have such power.
Who are you to deny the stones? Upstart? You know that there's no authority above the stones.
Perhaps they are wrong in this case.
What? And I take a step towards him. I say, that's akin to blasphemy.
Blasphemy? The stones are as no god to me. They hold no sway. I am the master here, not they.
Then why not just relinquish your stone?
Exactly. Maybe you are not worthy.
I'll take a look at
Yes.
Why are you in my conversation?
Because I'm there too. I was there before you got there.
I'll say, have a care, Zahn. You cannot remain on the fence at all times. At some point, you'll have to choose a side.
He's chosen a side. You obviously feel as though the stones are
the wrong side.
Well, regardless of that, I humbly, and I actually bow to them. I say, I humbly request that the two of you accompany me to Lucent 4 in order to retrieve Doan's stone.
I said that's perfectly acceptable. I say it is the will of the stones that they have chosen them, and as such, I will follow you.
Unless Plax, you feel as though your duties here supersede those of the stone.
There is nothing for me here.
Okay. As I thought.
I'll say, let me issue one last command to my cartel so that they can be assured to follow out my orders without question or ambiguity.
Okay.
And I will join you hence on the way to Lucent.
Okay. All right. When he leaves, I turn to Zahn and I say, I have my doubts about Plax. What does he mean? His, and he claims ownership of this action here.
I say his loyalty is more to his cartel than to the stone. So this much is pretty much proven obvious over the years. I
But
say, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but he must realize that without the Vanguardian knighthood, even the sanctity of his cartel would be in doubt.
I said that's definitely possible. I say, but regardless, it's as much, as he questions the will of the stones have chosen him, just as they have chosen Doan. I said, we do not fully understand the reasoning behind the stones choosing of certain individuals. It could be that they choose individuals based not solely on their nobility, but on a number of different aspects to fully color the emotional palette of what they intend to do.
I kind of take a step back, wide-eyed, looking at Zahn, and I never caught him to be one of philosophy. And I stroke my chin and go, yes, perhaps I need to meditate further on this thing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'll go into the ship, and Commander Mazir, present yourself.
Runs up, heel clicks, head in the air, eyes cast not directly at you, looking up at the ceiling like, yes, sir.
Say, listen, I am not too sure about Zahn and Oxmo. We go to, we're off to Lucent 4, I believe. 2, 3, Lucent 4, for a mission, a Vanguardian mission. But there is a task of the utmost importance that you must perform. The high priest on the planet, Doan, he must be captured and taken far from here. And without that, he must be slain outright. But it must not be recorded. It must not be seen. He must simply disappear. He is to inherit a power that I cannot allow him to inherit for the betterment of the cartel's mission here on this planet.
He says, I know exactly who to give this vital, important mission to. Someone loyal to our cause and our people.
And understand that if there is any duplicity in your heart, that I will scatter your atoms across the cosmos. Have a nice day.
That, of course, goes without saying, sir.
I say, make it so, and hurry. I do not know how long I will be able to keep these fools, Oxmo and Zahn, occupied.
Okay.
I'll fly out. I am ready, friends. I am ready, comrades.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let us be off.
Okay. All right. So I think Flax is able to, or who was able to, or either one of you guys is able to create gates.
All of us probably could.
Yeah, I could do a gravimetric gate.
Okay. I'm just going off of what happened last game. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So one of us creates a gate, and then we jump through, heading towards Lucent 4.
Okay. Okay. You arrive at Lucent 4, and because of the nature of the planetary system, it's very difficult to get to. It's like surrounded by some kind of nebula, high radiation. There's star material everywhere. Communications by more the more civilized members of the galaxy would never be able to navigate it. And then you have to get through the nebula to like a binary star system where the gravity between these two stars is just impossible, and this planet revolves around it, and in a strange... There we go. There we go. Sweet. Sweet. Yes. I don't know where you got that from, but it's awesome. And so you arrive in the system, and where normally there would be other planets and orbiting around the sun, whatever, it's just this highly irradiated cloud. There's no it's hard to find any communications to send radio signals. You guys are probably using like neutrinos or something of that nature, some waves or materials that are better able to send signals to each other. But you sense a very powerful energy source tagging onto your wormhole.
Coming in with us or going back through the wormhole?
Almost as if it's coming through or wants to come
With
through
us.
the wormhole. Yes, yes.
Oh, kind of like on our heels.
Right, right, right.
All
Why
right.
is it that I did not receive any summons from the stones here? Why you?
As we're zipping through this wormhole of our own creation, and we see like the light from the stars, it's kind of like swirling patterns of color around us, and I turn to Plex and respond, as you alluded to previously, perhaps your connection with the stones is fading, Plex. Maybe Doan is your replacement.
What? See,
I smile.
That's insane.
I shrug and say, the will of the stones is the will of the stones. We are not here to question it, but to follow.
You all are fools if you believe this to be so. Tell him, Zahn. Tell him with your infernal logic that it makes no sense, his argument. Why am I even being bothered by this? I'll say so.
I'm sorry, I didn't mute it. I say, I said there's no evidence as to one way or the other if anyone was to be replaced by the stones, and being that the stone is coming from the origin, it's doubtful that it's meant to be a replacement.
Zahn, my friend. Zahn, my friend. So this is the origin of the companion stones, huh? The source of all things quantum, possibly the singularity event, etc. It all spawned in this sector.
I said that would be the logical conclusion.
Perhaps this was not such a fool's errand after all. And I'll fly up ahead.
Okay, even though we have fly faster than you.
right. You are the slow one.
That doesn't stop me from dramatically flying up ahead.
Right. I guess since it's assumed, I guess, DBJ, that all of us kind of noticed this, that some signature is kind of following us, perhaps, or tracking us in some way.
Yes, and it's not as the best way to describe it is it's not as organic or fluid as you guys are able to create it. It may be you're thinking it's from a mechanical source,
Okay.
or maybe a power source, reminiscent of how the spiral arm transports very large spacecraft. Like they actually have to program, navigate, use a very powerful energy source. It takes them hours to do it. It requires programmers on both ends of the gate to translate from one place to another, and you guys do it with a thought. So maybe this is and there's no signal from the Spiral Arm Empire, because normally they would let you know.
Well,
So, we are the Empire. We are translating into the system. There's no signal like that at all.
I noticed it briefly, and personally, I will ignore it because it's nothing that I'm familiar with, and it's not immediately perceived as a threat to me. Just more of a curiosity, a blip or something. And because I have to always maintain the image of perfection, I don't let it bother me. So I ignore it.
Well,
There's no reason.
if I sense it, I'm always curious. I got to know what the heck, what's going on. So I'm going to essentially kind of drop like almost like little beacons to kind of or almost like probes, I guess, kind of like behind us to kind of get like a better reading as to what
Dingleberries.
it is. Yeah, dingleberries, yeah, mechanical dingleberries to get a better image of what seems to be coming in behind us. So what would I use for that? Would that be just technology or investigation?
Um, um, I'll say technology. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's where are we at? Here it is. Okay, so
So what are you doing?
um
You fighting? You defending? You
I
uh
mean, you can look at movies.
no,
I
I mean
know,
it's
I
just
know.
fighting, defending. No, I guess it'd be like creating an advantage, I guess, or overcome
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You got a
Okay.
Can I
Good.
create
good
an
result.
advantage to create an advantage?
Create an advantage. All right. Well, I got a good roll.
And that
Oh,
includes you get a +2 from the stone when you're using
Right.
elements.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I forgot to add that in that. So
You're fine. You're fine.
I guess +2 to that. So that would be superb.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
You
or do I have to roll it as? Oh, no, never mind. No, never mind. That's fine.
No, you don't have to roll again. You're fine.
Okay.
Um, you drop your nanotech um, probes into the remnants of the wormhole, and it seems like a someone is tracking, maybe, or trying to lock onto your wormhole signature, or maybe a wormhole signature. Uh, you, which one you're not sure, but someone is trying to calibrate where you're located and to try to send something through the wormhole.
All right.
And
And with that, I'm gonna actually the next one I'm gonna send
mhm.
um is gonna be basically to scatter the signal because nobody else needs to be knowing how to get over here. So I'm actually gonna create the advantage of um blah, 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 um previously scanned.
Okay.
So let me create that advantage first. It's technology, so oh, good lord. Oh, okay. All right, still decent. Okay, so that's the advantage, and then I'm going to guess what would it be? I guess it would be in order to try to prevent them from being able to succeed. Would that be overcome again, or
Um, I would say that it would be, you could use whatever you rolled, and that would be their difficulty to overcome
okay?
getting there. So you created the advantage,
So
and
that when I create the uh, um, what is it? What do I call it?
hmm,
Signal disruption.
okay, okay.
So so let's see here. That'll be same thing, I guess. Plus the advantage. So wow, it's gonna be legendary. Okay, here we go. Oh, good lord, really?
Well, Joe, remember you're supposed to roll the 4 dice and then add your bonus to the roll. Don't don't total. At least I don't think that's. I don't know. Maybe that's how the fate roller works. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know.
No,
So no.
the fate roller, it adds the
It
skill.
adds everything.
Yeah, so you just click, like if my skill is fair too, you just click fair, and then roll 4 dice, and then whatever the final result is the die result plus the fair.
So I shouldn't have rolled already adding those two into it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
I
the
should
fate.
have.
Here, let me double check.
Okay, so
I'm pretty sure.
so basically it's my technology, which is great.
Right, so you roll a
And
4.
then
Great.
so, and then I basically add two for the advantage I created. Add two for the
You don't add anything until after. You just roll straight.
Four
You
dice,
roll,
right? And then
right.
yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
And then whatever adds you do, it
okay.
bumps it up at the end.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm doing it all backwards. Let me roll that again. I apologize. Okay, so that's good. So then if I want to add the
2
advantage to that, so that's two,
goes up to
and then
5.
add my stone in there too. So then that would bump it up again, another two to 7. Epic. That's
Wow,
pretty much it.
Okay.
Okay.
wow. Okay.
Impressive.
All right, and they are going to roll. Wow. No. But something actively, when you put your, you disrupt the signal to the path of the wormhole, something actively tries to lock onto that signal. Not doing very well.
Okay.
Not doing very well at all.
So I
You,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was going to say, Zahn, you get an image of this, and it seems to be maybe floating in some kind of like in between, like wormhole world or something. Like it's trying to find a signal or any signal to lock onto to basically bring itself into actuality. And it's a very large cruiser. To give an example, I mean, to give a size example, it could probably hold maybe 5,000 to 8,000 people on it. So it's pretty large.
Okay. All
But
right.
it's not in physical space. It seems to be like lost in translation, I guess would be the way to describe it. And it's trying to find a signal.
Okay. All right.
And the actual location of it is there is no location of it because when you travel through the wormholes, you're basically everywhere at once. So it's in between everywhere at once.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'd let these other guys know. I said there is another a rather large ship, it appears, somewhere caught uh, in the quantum flux wake of the wormhole. So it's near impossible to locate its exact position, but it's trying to it appears that it's trying to lock onto the to our wormhole in an attempt to pull itself through.
Perhaps the vessel is in danger. Maybe they need our help.
I said it's possible, but more likely they're um, making an attempt to try to get to um, the same location where we're going to.
It's
I
rather
said,
presumptuous of you. With all of your logic, it seems like you would have more objectivity. Not that I disagree with you, it's just that I would expect you to have more objectivity.
as Vanguardian Knights, it's up to us to make sure that this ship is not in any danger. So we
So,
should intercept it.
what guidebook are you reading from?
Damn you, damn you, Flax. And you're meddling and you're twisting of words. By
I'll
the
say,
maker, we'll do this the way we're supposed to do it.
I'll fly off ahead. I'll say perhaps there is a gain to be had for the Black Moon Cartel. I'll say assist me and I'll shoot out a beam. I'll say if we could quantum shunt, and form an anchor in this reality, we may be able to pull it through. So assist me.
It's basically in kind of like warp space, kind of,
Flux.
BBJ is what you're saying, or kind of is that?
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
okay,
It is in between
so to speak, reality
here
or
and
whatever. Okay,
right, right.
okay. Go ahead, Jim. You're doing something, right?
Yeah, I'm going to try to make an overcome. What I want to do is basically act as an anchor to pull it out of whatever location it's in.
Zahn,
Okay.
can you try to communicate with it?
I say it's like I said, it's hard to communicate with it as it's caught in between realities.
Hard is a relative term.
And what I'm doing is I'm using gravimetrics as well as trying to subluminally accelerate it so that that'll make it move faster for an instant, and the gravity will kind of pull it out. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm grabbing it and trying to pull it out. That's it. To
Okay.
make a
Okay.
long story short, I'm trying to overcome it, lift it, pull it, whatever I can do.
Now, did you want to? Okay, this is trying to kind of strange. Did you want it to arrive in the system close to the to Lucent, the where the companion stones are, or did you want to go somewhere else?
It would be easier just to pull it out here, right? As
Yes.
opposed to trying to pull it out and send it somewhere else. So
Right.
I'll do the easier of the two and just pull it out with the thinking that whatever it is, there are three of us here. I mean, we should be able to deal with one ship, no matter how big
Right.
it is. So if they are acting as asses, we can put them in their places relatively quickly. I can assert my
Okay.
dominance.
No problem. No problem. Okay. Make a roll.
All right. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to create an advantage to help me in my overcome roll, and that advantage is going to be quantum anchor. So I'm going to attempt to anchor myself using Zond and Oxmo. So
Okay.
a little shadowy light, for lack of a better word, kind of dances between the three of us, and in the middle of us, a dark distortion wave begins to emanate out, and I'll try to utilize that power. So here's the create an advantage action.
All right.
Okay, that is going, and I'm using my will for lack of anything else to use, which is 0. So that's a 1. That's a 3. I'm going to invoke my gravity energy, quantum gravity energy,
Okay.
to bump that to a 5. And I'm going to let it roll there. So I'm attempting to create the advantage quantum anchor, and I got a 5.
Anchor. Easily enough done.
Okay,
They're
did I
not.
succeed with style?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Oh, so did Zahn. I apologize for that. Sorry, Joe.
No
All
problem.
right, so we have the distortion, and the anchor is there in space, and I will kind of usher my companions to cast their quantum companion stone's energy and following me to sort of hit the ship and pull it out of whatever extra dimensional morass it's in right now.
Okay.
So now will be the overcome roll. All right, let's go here. Oh, nice.
Wow.
All right,
Wow.
so that's a 3, and then my will is 0, and then my stone is 2, so that's a 5. I'll utilize one of the invokes of the quantum anchor to bring that to a 7. Is there anything else I can play with? Oh, I said I was going to subluminize it, so I'm going to invoke my light quantum energy and bump that to a 9. That will take my last fate point. So I'm at a 9 right now. Does anyone else have anything on the field of play that I can use for free, since I don't have any fate points? Any free invokes of anything up?
Joe made an
Well,
advantage, but I don't know.
well, one you wouldn't want to use, but it is still there. The signal disruption is still there, but
High radiation is around us. Star material is around us.
Yeah, but those aren't free. I can't use
Oh,
them.
you did say free. Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
I need. What did Joe create? The disruption?
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
not going to. Okay, so
That's
it's going to be a 3. What did I say? 9.
Pretty good, man. What do you? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it. 9.
Legendary plus.
wow.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
3, 5, 7, 9. The light. Yep. Okay, so 9 is correct. So did we manage to pull it out?
Not only that, but you were able to, what would we say, ensure that you're not surprised about what it's going to do.
Oh.
You know, like not just like, hey, let's pull this thing out, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, it explodes or weapons start firing or something like that. Okay, you pull out the a huge spacecraft, and it is outfitted with, you know, one of the largest largest engines you'd ever seen. Seems to be powered by like a mini black hole in its interior. Of course, it's covered by like 7 or 8 layers of radiation shielding, and maybe it's experimental because it's not something normally piloted in the around the Empire. They don't allow that kind of thing just because of accidents that may happen. A lot of planetary systems, they're still a little bit behind the times in many ways, although they do have a very high level of technology. And it is armed to the teeth. it is well armed. When you pull the craft out, immediately there's a hail, sending out radio signals all up and down. The radio waves trying to find somebody, anybody, trying to find a signal. Unfortunately, the navigation can't focus on anything. Come on, you guys. And it can't focus on the wormhole, finding out where you're at, what time period it is at. But you do know that the SOS that it not SOS the hail that it's sending out is a few hundred years older than the current hail frequency used by the Spiral Arm Empire today.
Okay.
Don,
So,
what's your assessment?
knowing that, I respond to his hails and say um hold. I said this is the I said state the nature of your emergency. State the nature of your emergency.
Damn it, Zahn, you're going to have us look as though we're weak simpletons.
Well, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Is the Lucent system, is it off bounds? Is it a secret? Is it
It's not a secret, but it's off bounds.
Okay.
There have been attempts to, as usual, to try to figure out where these stones came from, what they're about, and it's met with destruction.
Okay.
Complete destruction, and they've left it alone.
Okay.
And their assessment is that the stones are their gift to the Empire, and leave it at that.
Okay. Gotcha.
So no one's planted like a flag and said this is our system. Nothing like that.
All right.
And no one's been able to penetrate the nebula to get to them at all. Mainly because even if they did, they wouldn't be able to communicate.
Got it.
So no. Anyone that's gone in has never come back out.
All right.
Except for you guys.
Oh, okay. I turn to Zahn and look for not reassurance, but affirmation as to what are they in trouble? Do they need our assistance?
So while they're broadcasting a SOS on all frequencies, it stands to reason that they may have, like I said, they may have been caught in the wake. I said, given the timestamp on the SOS, I said it appears that they may have actually been caught between realities for I don't know, anywhere from a few hundred to a few thousand years.
What? You need to recalibrate your sensors, and I will. Okay.
Let's ascertain their intentions.
I will, because there's no higher calling. I will zip forward, assuming they need our aid.
Okay. You're able to pick up their hail if you wish.
Okay, sure. Yep.
Okay. The ship's sending out a very basic hail across a very large radio frequency, and let's see.
Kneel before Zod.
Hello there. Who is that? And how dare you guys? Who dares attack the battleship Xatic?
Do we recognize that race?
No.
Lower
No.
your shields and prepare to be boarded.
You are in violation of the Empire's Treaty 106.7. We're on a military excursion. How dare you approach us?
What empire?
Why is the Empire of 6? The six main planets don't... Members of the six main planets, who are you? And what is your point here?
And who is your leader?
Our leader? I am the commander of the ship, and
Very well.
we are attempting to create establish a consortium between the six main planets. Someone has told me that there is a very powerful energy source here, and we are laying claim to it.
I am going to create a wormhole.
Okay.
And pull him out into space, but I'm going to create a little bubble so that he can survive.
Ooh.
I don't want to kill him yet.
Basically teleport him out there.
Yeah, just pull him out.
Okay. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Make a roll.
While he's doing that, Zahn, can you search your databanks and see if you can come up with any information about the Xatic Empire or Xatic race?
Yeah, I'll start kind of going through what I know about this ship configuration and that race, and what he's talking about as far as the 6 planets. Go through whatever, I guess, history files I might have. I guess that'd probably be what, investigation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Actually, yeah. What I'll do is I'll just do that.
And I'll move in closer, DBJ, to into melee range.
I fail, but I can succeed at a cost, serious cost.
Okay.
So I will do that so as to not look the fool. I may be the fool, but I don't want to look the fool.
I understand. Maybe it might... the spacecraft does have defense systems on it. And very heavily shielded against irradiation. So that's probably what's holding you back from being able to just very easily and very quickly, transport somebody from one place to another. Zahn, I think you've got, let's see, what an average. What bonuses do you have?
Not much, unless I can add my computer interactions with skills. But
yes.
Okay. Well, then yeah. I got a good.
Okay. All you know is that there was a in the beginning of the spiral, before the Spiral Arm Empire became the Empire, there were only a few planets, and they made contact with each other. And to expand out their resources, they went to various planets. One of them was a somewhat militarized race, and they were tasked with basically planting their flag on various asteroids, planets, for raw materials and resources, gather them together.
Colonialism.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And during one period of time, there was a battleship. It went over into a nebula where it sensed an extremely large power source and was never seen from again.
Now, it appears this is said, and how long ago was that?
Oh, wow. Thousands of years ago?
Wow.
Before the Empire existed.
Okay.
And, I mean, they sent back the coordinates of where it came from. Those coordinates to present day being where the companion stones are from, it was assumed that they were destroyed by the companion stones.
Light bulb just went off. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So I pull this commander out into space, if I can, to have a face-to-face conversation with him.
Okay. Going to pause for just 2 seconds.
Oh yeah.
You got, well, no. The only reason I say that, each of you guys gets a fate point for your
her infamy.
Well, no. You guys were essentially without say, you were invoking you were compelling your own limitations when the game started. I didn't want to interrupt that.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, no, you're fine. So I just wanted to make sure you guys get credit for that. But yes, the commander. Ooh, let's see. Is it pulling back up here? A picture of? Yeah.
Like you know that can be perceived as an aggressive action, don't you?
And they're none more aggressive than I. I do not think he would wish to do that.
We will have words, my friend.
You have words with me. You have words with the entire Black Moon cartel.
Yes, hide behind your banner.
Right. I speak for them as a nation and as a people.
You draw him out of the ship, and he's like, what is going on? By the gods!
I'll say, calm yourself, mammal.
He's grabbing onto his breathing apparatus, not wanting to die in the cold and vacuum of space, and realizes that he's in a comfortable environment created by you.
If I wished you dead, you would have been so already.
They should have told me that. Good.
Told you what?
That's it. The planets of Six should have told me they would send agents here to prevent us from staking our claim.
You have no claim in this sector. Say to continue would be folly for you and the 7,981 primates that you have on the ship.
Flax, tell him who we represent.
Say we are the Vanguardians. We represent the.
Don't do it.
Black Moon cartel. The strength of
it says there is no such thing.
Not to you.
What?
I say our apologies. I say you have unfortunately experienced a time dilation loop, in which case you have been trapped in an infinite loop of space and time.
I'm stunned.
Trapped between the trapped between the realities, and as such, have been trapped there for. I'm presuming, as I'm kind of like. Actually, as I'm saying this, I want to kind of be going through like his computer systems to kind of get like a more accurate thing as far as like like when the ship actually went through and blah blah blah. And I was like, you've actually been stuck in this time loop for approximately 9,762 years.
He's completely stunned. Like, that is impossible. We just had a minor navigation and engine trouble for a few hours. That would be impossible. I think you're giving us lies. You were trying to take what's likely hours.
I say, when is the last time that you saw 3 individuals with the power to go through space without the need of a without the need of a ship of that size in order to traverse the cosmos?
Zod, why are we even trying to explain ourselves to this insect?
Because in order for him to understand his place in this universe, he needs to know where he is now. You cannot expect for him to understand anything if you insist demands upon him and he has no idea where or when he is.
And they are potentially citizens of the Empire.
But they are not as such now, Oxmo. They are nothing. And I'll start to let him kind of drift off towards his ship
Okay.
slowly. I'll say you
Well,
see it.
you hear hails from their ship, from their craft, and alarms are going off. I mean, like beep, 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 as they're getting battle ready, because their commander just disappeared.
Place him back in his ship, Plex.
I said we can all go back to the ship. I said that's my suggestion.
Okay, I'm good with that. We'll all fly to the ship, to their ship.
Well, you hear hails from them. There's crew is scurrying around the ship. They're starting to power up their weapons. They're wondering where he went, why this power source was affecting their spacecraft. There's chatter on the radio about maybe these humanoid energy signatures are the cause of their initial warp through the wormhole in the first place, and why they got stuck. And you know, they're jibber jabbering amongst themselves inside of the spacecraft, but they're all getting battle ready.
I'll give him to Oxmo. Here, you take him and do with him what you will.
All right. Is it possible for me to actually open up a small gateway to actually put us on the bridge of the ship?
Oh yeah. Oh, easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do I need to roll for it, or can we just?
No, you can just do it.
Okay. All right. I do that, and I leave it open
Weakness is not the way of the Black Moon Cartel.
for the other two to
I'm going as
go
well.
through if they want to. As I put the commander or the captain, back on the bridge, I apologize for my companion's aggressive actions towards you. And as Zahn enters, I wave towards him and I say, but what he says is true. You have been trapped within this singularity for many lifetimes.
The captain, who's like a little nonplussed, he goes searching for one of his cigarettes, and and he's just like, we stand down, everyone, stand down. And you know, there's crew running around, looking at the weird alien, kind of large-headed on the back, face mask and whatnot, and he's telling them to calm down. He says, well, we of the Xatic race want to lay claim to this place. How is it that you are here? And where is this empire that you talk of? We have not seen anything like this on our scans.
I kind of thrust my chest forward and say, we three are representatives of the Spiral Arm Empire, as knights of its and upholders of its laws and order. I say many things have changed during your absence, and I'm afraid that, and I kind of look at Zahn for confirmation of this, I don't even think that we have any recent contact with your kind. Is that true, Zahn?
I said no. I said, as far as I can tell, you are the last of your kind.
And being the last representatives of your kind, and I kind of actually allow my stone at my temple kind of flares, Mm-hmm. I kind of take a step closer to him, and I say, as representatives of the last of your kind, it would be to your advantage to remain as peaceful and as open to suggestion as possible, for the Empire knows what's best for you. And I kind of look at Plax at saying that.
The commander, he looks at all of you because he's never seen beings like you guys before, and thinks, and the crew is nervous. They're like, what should we do? What should we do? And he looks at them and looks at you, and he says, I have to say, for the sake of my race, if what you say is true, then I must claim your energy source for ourselves as the only thing that will save us. We can't join your empire, be absorbed. We are not servants. We are leaders. And he basically stubs out his cigarette because he pretty much knows he's going to die.
Okay.
He says, "But for our race, we must take one of your energy sources."
Wow. I basically cut the air in front of me with my my hand, you know, and I say, you have no claim upon what does not belong to you. This system is already claimed by the spiral arm, and unless you want to proclaim an act of war upon it, you will you will get those thoughts outside of your mind. I realize that these are this is a stressful moment for you, and you may not be thinking clearly, but it is by the spiral arm's authority. We will actually remove all data you have in your systems of the location of this area, and take you to the nearest spiral arm reclamation center, so you may be entered into the empire as as the law proclaims. And I look at Zahn, and I say, Zahn, wipe the information from their computers.
He said,
You know,
"This is you overreach. There is no spiral arm, and there never will be one. Not by our hands. We will lead the 6 planets. We will create an empire under our leadership." And he tells the crew, and he says, "Release the living weapons." And you hear their engine system powering up. And you, of course, starts powering up throughout the ship. In the far lower levels, doors are opening. The shell around the engine starts. The barriers around the engine that power the engine start opening up and moving.
Well,
And
remember also, DBJ, there's
yes.
the quantum anchor that's still on them.
Yes,
They're
absolutely. The spacecraft is not moving. It's actually opening.
Weapons.
Yeah, they're about to do
They're
something.
powering up, right? The Death Star.
It's about to go down.
Yeah. Essentially, yes. Expecting maybe the spacecraft to explode or something like that, it doesn't. But your great senses detect that there's motion through the ship as security comes storming towards the bridge. And let's see.
Security.
Yep. All right, security. And that's what storms. That and many more behind it start storming the bridge.
cool.
And he says, "Take their power source, claim it for ourselves, or we will die trying." And these machines, somewhat, are there's some biological essence to them. They are powered by the engines that were able to go into the wormhole itself.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. And let's how the heck do you roll initiative in this game?
It can either be by what is it? Athletics, or whatever way you want to do it. I mean, I think that's right. Is that right? I know we rarely do it that way, but
Right.
yeah, it's usually athletics first, and then go from there. So you don't really roll, but you could say athletics plus, a fate roll. I mean, there's ways to do it, man. Whatever way
In
you feel like.
the core book, they go off of notice.
Oh, notice. I'm sorry.
And you
Okay.
basically
Notice.
roll and whatever. You make the roll and add your notice, and that sets like your initiative, and then you just kind of go from there.
Okay. I'm going to make my roll. I've got a mediocre. And not much else. All right, you guys roll.
Okay, I got a 3. Got a 3.
Got a 1.
Mediocre.
So is it on me? With a good?
Oh, I
All
got a
right.
1. So
All right.
What's the matter?
All right.
The ship explodes.
Yeah. All right. Oxmo, you may go first.
Okay, what I will do is, even though, uh, wow, or because I'm a Vanguardian Knight and there is no higher calling, well, actually, I take that back because every empire needs a strong foundation, and I don't necessarily want to. Well, I don't. I don't want to just blatantly kill these beings, especially since they're the last of their race. I still feel as though, unless pounded into my thick skull, that they will basically join, or whatever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create an advantage called a quantum wave, and ultimately, what I'm going to do, if needed, I'm going to use it to push these beings, away from me instead of actually striking them, until I find out what because I don't know. They seem to be, like you said, they seem to be because my powers over the stone seem to give me kind of like almost in a way myself, kind of almost a more biological connection of sorts. You said that we could tell that there's something, different about these creatures. They're not just made out of inert matter for some reason. So I'm not quite sure what to make of them. So I'm not gonna try to kill them first. So long story short, I will create an advantage after all that. Okay. So what did I say? Quantum. What did I say? Quantum wave. I think I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So quantum wave, and since it's gonna be a push, I'm gonna use my physique to create it. Okay, is that cool? Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Let me roll. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. That will give me a 5 result.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, you succeed with style on that.
Okay. All right. So I got 2 inbox. Okay. So that's what I do for my action.
Okay.
But you didn't actually push anyone yet.
No, not yet. No, I'm charging up.
Charging it up. Okay.
All right. Who's next? Plax?
Got a 1. So is
Yeah.
that me?
Yeah, that's you.
Okay. Jeez. All right. I am going to where's their power source on this ship? Do I see the reactor? Do I see, something big glowing? Anything like that?
Yes, you do. It seems that their reactor is also like if tied it into their weapon systems, so they're able to, they're able to use their reactor as a weapon if they wanted to, or use it through their weapon systems externally, or powering up these servants of sorts. Maybe they're soldiers, but they are using this as also as a power source.
Okay, I am going to fire a photon blast at their reactor.
Ooh, okay. Now, do you want to like fire it like through the deck, like basically like a straight line?
Is it inside the ship?
Or it is inside the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're like on the bridge, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, we are.
I will
You can
Well,
still attempt to do it. I don't.
here's what I'll do. I'll shunt myself. I'll step sideways using my infiltration and appear basically like a teleport at the reactor core. So
Okay.
I'll move towards it, and so that's my move action.
Okay.
And then I will create, using my quantum light ability, a number of holograms of myself, and tell them that if they persist in this course of action, I will uh, cause their reactor to go critical mass. There will be no additional negotiations with this. Power down now or die.
Okay. I'll
So
have
am I
you. Good.
intimidating? Is that intimidating? Provoke?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Oh, nice. Two
Wow.
is 4. Uh, and I'm using the holograms for that, so that'll be 6. So that'll be 6. 6
Wow.
total.
Sweet. Um.
Can I use my shadow life? It's like criminal activity, assassins' bribes, blackmail victims, and stuff like that. Would it be possible
Okay.
that since I'm in that life, I know what buttons to pull and how to properly intimidate people?
You know what? I'll give that to you. I'll do that.
Okay. That'll bring it up to an 8.
All right. Why is this still going on? Jeez. Here we go. You succeed with style. It's 3 or more. Am I correct? To succeed
Yes.
with style. Okay. You succeed with style, and
And
the captain. You can tell that these uh, mechanized creatures or something are like they're like pacing around because they basically want to pounce on you, especially Oxma. And you basically tell them, hey, they're gonna you make a step, you're dead. You know, I'll blast a hole right through
Cool.
the
Are the rock like creatures still? Are they intimidated as well? Or are they still coming?
they seem to be under orders. So in essence, they are following whatever the captain of the ship.
Okay.
But the captain of the ship, no, I mean, he basically, at one moment Plax is there, the next moment he disappears, and he's at the engine room talking about putting a hole through it. He has no reason not to believe it. So he's like, "Stand down, everyone, stand down!" And the the creatures are still like you could see this inner glow, kind of like flexing through them as they breathe in and out. Let's see how to put them back up here again. And the captain says, "Stand down, warriors! You are here to defend our race. If what they say is true, this empire must be there. We no longer exist in it. All right, we will make a deal with you, creatures. Share with us your power source, and we will not wage war with your kind."
With that, I go to like one of their terminals and
Okay.
I link up to it
Okay.
and
What does it look like, Joe, when you link up to it?
oh
What does that
brother.
mean? Okay.
Anyway, I basically put my hand to it and like parts of my hand kind of like extend out and go into the different ports and stuff, and I say you don't seem to understand that you were never in a position of power here, and let's see here, I'm going to
Never
take,
have power
take,
here.
take control of the ship.
Oh.
Ooh. Um, make a technology roll, but
Okay.
this is actually for something else. But make a technology roll.
You got a reaction out of DBJ, man. Here we go.
Oh.
No, you'll see. If he sees it, I'm pretty sure he'll make it. But unless he really crap rolls.
There you go.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Fantastic.
And that, yeah, and that's before any bonuses.
+2 of my computer interactions and skills.
Yep.
So,
And yep. You've realized that the spacecraft still has the coordinates to go back to where it came from, both in time and space.
okay. All right. And knowing that, okay, I kind of relay that, mentally to the other two. I say you can leave the ship, so I'll return them back to whence they came.
What?
What are you returning them to?
Right, yeah, what?
They're
What are you
1,000
doing?
years. They're 1,000 years.
I say where we pulled them from. So
I say the humane thing would be to just destroy them now, save them the indignity of trying to assimilate, since they have obviously nothing of any value for the Black Moon Cartel.
I said whether it's death or infinitely lost to the void, it's irrelevant.
There you go.
I said it's the same thing.
Send them back, Zahn.
I say just leave the ship, and I'll begin.
Say this is foolish, Zahn. I counsel against it. You never leave an enemy to return another time to harass you.
I'll try
put them out of their misery now.
I'll try to pull Plax through the
gate.
He is a physical specimen.
Actually, I won't do that. I'll push him through the gate.
Oh, with that wave,
with my quantum wave.
And as I fall in, I'll fire a couple of blasts errantly, and they kind of pew, 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 and all you can hear is no, Oxbow. We will come to blows.
Right.
We will have words.
And I will. I'm going to compel Zahn to save the coordinates. Because you realize that you might actually be able to use their error to go back to before your race was destroyed.
All right, you get a fate point, DBJ. That's pretty good, man.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay, all right.
Matter of fact, I'll take it one step further. I'll take it one step further. This is what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go back with them to this time frame, but before I do, I'm going to release my stone to my next body so that I have a permanent link to this thing in this time frame, so I can get whatever information I can from it. So
sweet. So it's essentially you quote unquote died.
Yes.
And you're just going to be rejuvened because your self is going back, and so now you
is going to have that information.
Okay.
And then of course, the other body of me will be on that ship, but it'll just be it won't be active. Basically, it'll just be there, like permanently linked to it. But if I needed to activate that body, I could again if I needed to send it back there. But it's probably the safest place I can keep a second body. So.
All right, I got dibs on running the next session because I
second body.
Okay.
We don't know about this. I guess I wasn't aware that Zahn had a second body either. So this is news. So what do we see? How do we see this? Somebody tell me.
Okay. Can I?
Please.
Basically, you see the ship start to warp and then multiply once again into like hundreds and thousands and like billions of images of itself, and then they all just gradually just kind of like fade, like kind of shimmer away into the wake of that wormhole. Um, and as you see that happen, you see like a a little flash of light from each of those, as though like they were like bright stars, just kind of flash for like a second, and they all kind of coalesce into one little light, and you guys recognize it as my stone, and it just zooms off down the uh, um, down the wormhole.
Similarly to stone.
Going to where?
Going to who knows where.
Who knows where? Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's wow. So Zahn is no longer there technically, but his stone is.
Okay.
And you were actually here to retrieve, or I don't know, to present another stone to which has not even happened yet, back to the high priest on Ogren, which was the whole point in the first place.
Okay, so, but his stone's winked out of it's gone though. It's like poof. So yeah. After trying to reach out to form some kind of telepathic link or connection with Zahn, and I'm assuming I get nothing, I turn to Plex and I am dumbfounded as I say, Zahn is no more?
I would believe that he has ways of existing. He's only a computer, after all.
We will have to report this to the council when we return. I know not what else to make of it.
You're such a sniveling little milk drinker. You need to report everything back to them. They do not need to be privy to everything that happens to us. We are as gods to them. We're not beholden to them. We are above them. You should learn that.
Sorry, Dave, you're muted.
Sorry. I say the Spiral Empire has been weakened because of the loss of Zahn. Our enemies, this would be a perfect opportunity for them to attack us. That's why this must be reported to the council.
The Black Moon Cartel will be there to support any activity in Zahn's absence.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Smile.
All right. So, after mulling upon that and seeing that there's no getting through Plex's wall of ambiguity, all we have to do is we'll continue onward to Lucent 4 and try to obtain the stone. Then.
What's the name of that planet that we?
Lucent 4.
Lucent.
The other one.
What's the planet with the priest?
Ogren.
Ogren.
Okay.
Ogren 2 or 3 or something like that. 2.5.
2.5. That's what it was. So yeah, DBJ, if that's cool, we'll continue and try to retrieve the stone. If that's that makes sense to you, Jim.
Sure.
No problem. The stone sends out a pulse, leaves the planet's, the moon's surface, resists the terrible gravities pulling from the binary star system, makes its way towards the edge of the nebula, and slows down and meets with you, Oxmo, winking and spinning in front of you, galactically speaking, and presents itself to you so that you may then retrieve it and take it back to Ogren.
Okay. As the stone actually meets us in orbit around the planet, around Lucent 4, I kind of reach out with one hand, and it's hard to tell whether or not, well, you see a nimbus of energy around the stone as it gets closer,
Hmm.
and when it gets within hands touch, it's actually hard to tell whether or not I grab the stone or whether the stone grabs me. But regardless, I turn to Plax for a moment, and it looks like my eyes are without recognition to him, and the gate unfolds in front of me, and I go through.
The gate opens up almost unconsciously for you, that you're so filled with uh, blended power at the moment, and opens a
It's the
gateway.
raptor.
Yeah, and you literally see the Ogren system on the other side of the gate, and guys pass through the other side. Um, Instantly hailed by the when you arrive on the other side, hailed by the Black Moon Cartel. Um, you are in violation of Plex. Sorry, sir. We did not know it was you.
Call me by my name. How dare you? High speaker. I'm the high speaker. You will address me as thus.
Oh,
You were not in my birth pod with me.
High Speaker. Our apologies. Please, do you require a assistance or a honor guard?
Say no, be about your business. Be about the business of the light. Be about the business that you do in the light.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will go back to our duties.
All right, I look at Oxmo. Is he looking still with the look of non-recognition? Has he returned? His faculties come back?
Not yet. But as you guys descend towards the planetary surface, this new stone unerringly traveling towards the mountain where the high priest has made his home. You Yeah, you can see that the high priest is there, um, um, entertaining a few hundred people, giving a lecture in these what seem like the Himalayan mountains of sorts, snow-capped. But it seems that where this temple is built on top, it is a very moderate temperature, where he is addressing his students and followers, and he's just dressed in very simple robes. Of course, they have simple foods around them: breads, fruits, some vegetables, and sauces to dip them in. And
They know how to eat, boy. That's one thing. They don't mess around with the food.
no, yeah, I love
So
to eat.
those simpletons failed. I take it they failed in their task.
Oh, your guys, yeah. Well, hey, I'm not
You're good.
surprised.
Well, they have not. They've had difficulty.
Always something with
Um,
these guys. I tell you.
the the difficulty seems to be that as they spend time on the planet's surface, they don't want to leave.
Excuses are the tools of incompetence.
Their they've their enthusiasm is being supplanted by the need to I don't make friends and meditate, and
This guy has like some
and
super mind control. I tell you.
put a seed in the ground and watch it grow. Pour some water on top of it. Uh, watch the koi swim in the water and feed it little pieces of a fish food. That seems to be that seems to be the thing to do here.
And those
And
guys will need to be executed with all due haste. Can't have any of that. Can't show weakness in the cartel.
Did you get my um thing in the chat?
So, there's
no, what? Who?
Sneaking around.
He sent a GM message, I guess is what it was.
Not really. It's
Ah,
just,
see, I didn't. It didn't pop up for me. I don't know why
Oh,
it didn't pop up. I see it. I got it.
that's all right. Joe's trying to steal some limelight. That's all.
no, just want to.
Oh no, it's sweet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course,
I'm just
absolutely.
messing with you, Joe.
No, absolutely. Yeah. The just lost my train of thought. Okay, the high priest, the crowd before him looks into the sky and sees you guys arriving. You know, coming through the planetary surface, and you pick up a very faint but recognizable companion stone. I mean, a Vanguardian signal. And it's coming from Ogren.
What? What's this? Do you feel that, Plex?
I do. It's very faint, but it's there nonetheless.
Can you investigate it while I secure the stone with the priest? For my duties come first.
Say, perhaps I should take the stone to the priest.
I was the chosen one. I heed its call. It called to me, not to you, or your Black Moon cartel.
I'm fearing that he can see into my heart and see what I'm actually about.
I don't have to look into your heart. I see it's on your face.
All right, so I'll fly off, following the emanations. I'll fly off to investigate.
Okay.
I'll make a big show, you know, of as long as I'm able to. I make a big show, almost like a flaming, coming through the atmosphere, you know, with my arms spread out, you know, and land at Doan's his temple atop the mountain, you know, and come floating down there, and then just kind of hover, hands breadth above the ground there, and in a echoing, booming voice, I say, "Heed the call of the stone. Prepare to embrace its power.
He's not worthy.
Doan, surrender to the call."
He looks up at you, and all the people there they bow down to you.
Yeah.
They're like, the beings from above, the ones who have averted the great catastrophe that has never been averted before, and they bow down to you. And the priest he's got his hands upraised to you, and he says, "What news do you bring of us, great Oxmo?"
I say, be aware that there is no higher calling. There is none who is above the authority of the stone, neither empire or self. You have no choice but to heed the call. And I open my hand and allow the stone to actually, hold on, let me back up. I can handle this up a little bit better. I rotate there, and I'll use my control over quantum energy, and actually, because this is stealing from Ian last session, but I will create almost like a jumbotron, you know. And as I slowly spin, I will kind of hold the stone that has called Doan, and basically allow all those, you know, within, you know, miles to see it, you know, and bask in its glory. And once I face Doan again, I will say, you have been chosen to be a herald of the Spiral Arm Empire by the stone. And I'll let it go and let it float towards him. And hopefully it sears into, no, I don't know.
Into his left eyeball.
Right.
The stone floats towards him, coming down towards him gently, and begins suffusing him with like a golden light, almost like a holy light. And he holds his hands out to it, and it kind of floats in front of him, his forehead, and he closes his eyes, and he leans his head down, and you see the stone like kind of very gently rests against his forehead, and you see how you felt like when you were first exposed to the companion stone, where your senses are opened, and you see him like you could feel his body shaking from the tremendous power that is starting to pass through him. He can, see into the quantum energies and electromagnetic spectrum, and hearing sounds he's never heard before, and images he's never seen before. And you can see he starts to cry. He's like, no, and he tries to back away from it. And the stone is floating perfectly where it is, and he backs away, reeling away from it, falling down to the ground. And he goes, no, you've cursed me. And he looks like he's panicked, and everyone's looking at him like strange, because he's the image of peace and perfection. He's the complete image of peace and perfection. And he scrambles away and starts running down the stone path that leads up to this temple. And he's screaming. He's ripping his robe off, and he runs down the steps.
Okay. Is the stone still floating stationary where it is?
The stone is still floating stationary.
All right. I will actually retrieve him, because I cannot believe that he would deny the honor of the stone choosing him. And I will actually grab him and turn him around and say, what are you doing? This is a insult not only to the Empire, but to the stone itself. There's no denying it.
He says he didn't stumble very far away. He just falls to his knees. The people are looking like they don't know what to make of it. They've never seen their spiritual leader this nonplussed, and he looks up at you with eyes wide, and he goes, it is ultimate power, and it is ultimate corruption. How can you give this power to someone of a simple man like me?
I shake my head and I say, you don't understand. I say the power is not given to you. You are chosen. As I said, there is no authority above the stone. You must embrace it.
And he says in a low whisper, enough for you to hear, but for the others not to hear. And he says, but this planet and my people we are but a speck in a very vast universe. Everything that I've done, everything that I've stood for these many years, it means nothing any longer.
I nod and say, trust me, you must understand. I have my reservations as to some of those that the stones have chosen as well, including you. But it is not for us. It is not for us to decide. We are merely mortals. We are of the flesh. The stones are beyond the flesh. They are beyond space and time. They are immortal. The beginning and the end. And because of your reservations must be one of the reasons why the stone has chosen you. You have no lust for this power. Therefore, you are one of the perfect purveyors of it.
But the stone has asked of me the one thing that I cannot grant it. It wants me to leave this world and leave this place to its own devices and send me to the far reaches of this vast empire to never return again.
Do you fear that you have not taught your people the correct path, the right path to walk? They are children, yet you have been as a parent to them for all this time. Even children must grow.
He says, but I've protected them. I've led them. This world will become a cesspool without my protections and the gifts that I give them, to know that there is nothing but peace and harmony here.
Why do you have no faith in your people? Why do you think that all of your teachings have gone upon deaf ears? Have you held them to of low esteem? Have you kept them as children in order to remain their parent and their guardian forever?
I will have to speak with you many times on these issues. If I will accept the calling, and it is because of Oxmo that I will do so. So yes, I will. Even though it means leaving my home world forever, it seems.
But you will always be a part of this world. That also is the power of the stone.
Okay. And he walks back up. Someone there has gathered his robe and places it upon his shoulders.
Yes, cover your nakedness.
Yes. And he goes and hide. He goes up to the stone and places his hand out, palm up, and the stone just slowly spins above his hand, and you see the power, like you guys. It just infuses him, and it floats there next to him. It doesn't like attach itself to his body or anything. It floats next to him, and he begins to float into the air. And we're going to cut over to Plax.
Okay.
Okay. You're
in a very bad mood.
Well, your agents on the planet realize that this planet does have a technological system. It's pretty rudimentary, the equivalent of like a 3D televisions and things of that nature. But there is one location where there seems to be something protected by a firewall.
Really?
Yeah.
And we can't get through it?
Yeah, you can get to it, yes.
Oh, I can. My minions.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
They cannot. You can,
Okay.
but they can.
All right.
You very, very easily make it over to continental distances, and there is a cavern system, unreachable from the surface, but through a version of like echolocation, you realize that there's something quite a few hundred feet below the Earth's surface.
Okay. And I fire like a cutting laser using my light specialty to make a entrance point down there.
Okay. Very easily. Laser drill. Blast your way down there. You realize that as you start to blast your way lower and lower, that you're not sure whether something dug its way down, possibly on a microscopic level, and you blast your way into an open chamber, and inside of the chamber looks like a mini factory, and in the center of this almost like what would be a assembly line for an automobile, and inside is a body, and it is Zahn's body.
Oh wow!
Being built, and around it the reason why the chamber is empty is because the nanotech built machines so that they could build a body for Zahn.
All right, and is he fully built?
Yes.
Or are they building on him?
Well, they are currently building on him.
Okay. What's the completion at? Is he 80, 90?
He's probably like 90%. Just as he's got his power core going, but not awake yet.
And I don't see his companion stone, do I?
No, you don't see it yet.
I'll reach out with my senses to see if I can feel the companion stone.
And that is a cue for Joe.
Okay.
Be afraid. Be afraid.
Well, I would say that the stone would probably link up once I'm 100%. So, yeah, you would sense it there in the room. I mean, because it beat you guys there. It's been there.
Okay.
And there's probably a weird tether too to quantum tether to another person, another you
Mm-hmm.
of some sort. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hmm.
All right,
Hmm.
so I don't imagine I'll have enough time to reprogram Zon for my own nefarious uh, desire. So what I'm going to
Saw that
do
coming.
is I am going to uh, I am going to place I'm going to create an advantage called kill switch in Zon for a time to come later that if I need it, I can do something to him before he becomes fully sentient and uh, can figure out what's going on.
Hmm.
Is that possible to put it on him? And
Wow. Hmm. Let's see. I'll say that I'm okay. Here's how it's going to work, right?
okay.
I'll say yes, but that means that if you do it, you have to give him one of your fate points to him, as if you are compelling his trouble, so that because he's vulnerable to intrusions and such.
Oh,
So in
wow.
order for you to do it, you're like the game master in effect. So you have to give up your fate point to him in order to try to do it.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And this will leave it open because if Zon's background wants to change, there's a possibility that it could actually change by rippling forward. But that'll be left for a separate time. So yeah.
And no, it's
Very
good. It's good stuff.
yeah, very cool. Very good. We're gonna end the transmission at this point. Um, very cool, you guys. You guys are like dived right into it, man. Gee.
A lot to. I mean, it's
I
a
know it's right for
meat there. Yeah, it is ripe for all type of stuff.
Man, you guys are taking the ingredients and making all kinds of meals out of it. Wow. I didn't even. I mean,
it's
it was
growing. It's
just
growing.
a thought, and I was like, man, I haven't seen anything like this. So yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's going to be funny. How this is going to proceed, if you try to do it or something, or Dave, if you wanted to take it over, or whatever. I don't even care, dude.
No, you let me know. I mean, if you're still inspired and got some more that you want to, play out, then by
Okay,
all means go. But and just let me know when you're ready to pass the ball or the baton. Let
okay,
me know, and we can just rotate it, man. Because this is honestly, this is pretty good.
okay.
There's I mean, you're planting a lot of seeds is basically what's going on, and then you're letting us run with it more or less, and of course we're more than happy to,
Oh
So,
yeah.
so
um,
yeah.
that's awesome. I wasn't. I still haven't gotten a chance to use the rules that I picked up online. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, but yes, I still haven't gotten a chance to use them. But we'll see at some point, because I think it might add a little bit of complication to it now.
Hmm.
But I'm all right with that.
Well, yeah, I mean, and then that way you can get a chance also to, step in the shoes of a character, and
He's going. There we go.
Oh, wow!
Yeah,
Right.
well, yeah,
If that's
yeah,
what you want to do, yeah, I didn't think about that,
yeah.
duh.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely right.
Wow. Okay,
I'll have to do that then.
there you go.
I gotta make
Oh
doing.
yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
oh
That
yeah.
makes sense.